the American Democratic Party is also entirely against military intervention in Iran. The problem is the party politicians are not. The party politicians are not against going to war with Iran on either side. That much is clear, which is why I repeat over and over again, the liberal fantasy demonstrated by a lot of people who voted for Kamala Harris, who claimed with no reasonable evidence whatsoever that Kamala Harris would operate with different standards, is so stupid. It's especially stupid because Kamala Harris isn't dead. She is very much alive right now, which means that as an alive person, she could just say that it's completely and utterly ridiculous to go to war with Iran. As far as I know, she has not said a damn word. I do, however, remember when she said she would be more hawkish against Iran than Trump when she was running. Liberals that fantasized about Kamala Harris being the liberator of the Palestinians have yet to hear from Kamala Harris talking about her concern with how the Trump administration has dealt with the Palestinian population so far. She has not said a damn word about that either. Yeah. Yusuf Munayyer says, Biden, Harris, and Clinton all told us Trump was a national security novice and nightmare. Have they tweeted anything opposing Trump's reckless flirtation with another Middle Eastern quagmire? No, because they don't oppose it. There is one main party in D.C., the war party. That is it. Check the reply article. Even as party leaders seek to burnish their credentials, the resistance to Trump, they're tacitly and sometimes openly giving Trump a green light to lurch America into yet another open-ended war of choice. Yeah. For the record, I need you to understand something. This is precisely the reason why Hakeem Jeffries said, you can go to war with Iran. We think there is righteous cause for the U.S. to go to war with Iran. You just need to come to us in Congress and do it the right way. We will obviously give you the rubber stamp necessary to go to war with Iran. Just come to us. Oh, someone said the same thing. Harris obviously would have been against this war. Too bad she's dead now and can't say anything. Yep. Righteous cause, bruh. No, that's what Hakeem Jeffries said. Hakeem Jeffries released a statement literally saying Iran can never have nukes. Israel has a right to defend itself. Am Israel Chai. We must nuke Iran. But Mr. President, you have to do this with congressional approval. Please come to us and don't try to do this unilaterally.
With zero enrichment and will not surrender. Let's bring in 4-star General Jack Keane, Institute of Study of War.
Harris is not dead. No, she is. No, she died. It's so sad. She must be. She must be fucking dead because I ain't hear a single dang peep from Kamala Harris about both Gaza, the genocide. Every fucking libtard told me that she was anti-genocide. Every goddamn libtard told me over and over again, Kamala Harris would not be the same as Trump, you fucking idiot. You're so stupid. So where is she? Why hasn't she said a damn thing? I'll tell you this, if Kamala Harris were president now, we wouldn't be drifting into World War III with Iran right now. Trump is a fakeless failure. We would be doing the exact same thing that we're doing right now. The only difference would be, in terms of our dealings with Israel and Iran, we were doing the 100% verbatim the exact same shit. 100%. The only thing that would be marginally different would be the way that the Democrats are actually talking about why we must do it. We'd be talking a whole game about how fucking homophobic Iran is and how we must liberate the women there. We'd probably be a little bit more tactful about trying to implement regime change, be a little bit more competent in our imperial ambitions. But by and large, we know exactly what it looks like. We know exactly what incredibly devastating American foreign policy decisions look like because Gaza started under Biden. And we saw how the media packaged it, and we saw how the Democratic Party responded to the demands, the reasonable calls of restraint, the reasonable calls for a ceasefire. The Democrats set the fucking stage for even the censorship regime that the Trump administration is now taking advantage of. The Democrats started that. A lot of people act as though this censorship regime around Israel and speaking out against Israel started under the Trump administration. No, the Trump administration moved it to its logical conclusion, or is moving it to its logical conclusion. 3,500 peaceful student protesters were arrested under the Biden leadership for the crime of speaking out against Biden's unconditional loyalty to Israel and the continuation of this live streamed child holocaust. Kamala Harris never came out against any of that, even though it was clear during the fucking election year is when they did this, by the way. That's what makes it even crazier, because like that's the one time where you have the most impact, supposedly, as a citizen. There were a billion different polls that showed how overwhelmingly unpopular America's misdealings with Israel were, and they all fell on deaf ears. That is what actually triggers me to no fucking end when I hear from dumb fuck lib shits that turn around and try to talk about how Kamala would be different. And maybe Kamala Harris might come out at some point and demonstrate a fraction of political courage when it's far too late, when it's far too safe for her to do so. And then those dumb fuck lib shits, instead of going, I think maybe this is just optics, they will turn around and act as though she was there the entire way. So if you're one of these liberals who also had this attitude, I'm urging you to self-reflect. I'm urging you to reconsider your stances. Do not let yourself be duped. These are the moments where it matters. If Kamala Harris cared, if she truly cared, she would be out there. I don't think it's fair to mimic the right's talking points on Kamala. She would be better. It was binary last year. It was binary to say. It wasn't. It's disingenuous. That's your nihilistic take per usual. Fine, but you're so mad about it both ways. I don't think so. I think Gaza would be different marginally, but not the same. Don't be ridiculous. Be real, dude. You'd shit all over anything. Don't be disingenuous. Wow, here's a lib shit right here. Can you explain to me why Kamala Harris has not made a single statement about the Gaza genocide that has continued under the Trump administration, even as a partisan perspective? And instead, the only time she's actually ever spoken out about anything Israel related was when Eden Alexander was returning, where she made another statement about how all the hostages should be returned, which is basically just a defense of Israel at that point, when you omit the key detail in this equation, which is like literally the ongoing continued ethnic cleansing campaign that Israel is doing with American munitions that they got under the Biden administration and continue to get under the Trump administration. What makes you think that she would be in any way, shape, or form different? What makes you think that a marginal difference would be all too consequential? Are you saying that Kamala Harris would only allow Israel to kill 50 people yesterday rather than 51? Do you think that Kamala Harris would allow Israel to use tank shells and helicopters to murder starving Palestinians to the numbers of like, what, 25 as opposed to 50? Is that the marginal difference here? Is that going to be marginally better? They die tomorrow rather than yesterday? Should be horrible, but better. I think I have to treat this in the same way that I treat. You're saying yes. A lot of people, when they hear you say that this is positive or this marginal difference makes any sense in terms of a continued ethnic cleansing campaign, people look at you like you are mentally challenged. I need you to understand that. I look at you like that. I think you have a real mental issue. You might be like a John Fetterman style car crash victim if you think that this marginal difference is consequential because Gazan children that are being starved don't die yesterday, but they die tomorrow. Okay? You need to use this as an opportunity, as a wake-up call, and engage in a really radical act, an act of self-reflection. Think about why you feel this way, okay? And if it's because you were dropped on your head as a child numerous times, then maybe this is unsalvageable. But if there's a conscience in there, okay, if you have any fucking synapses that you can fire off up there, please use them now. It's not a mental challenge. It's seeing as Palestinians as nothing but numbers. 50 is less than 51, so it's somehow better. No one is saying Kamala or the Dems would be pro-Palestinian anyway, but it's not crazy to think we would be on the precipice of war with Iran by June. Yeah, no, it is crazy. And the reason why it's crazy is because a lot of you are not paying attention. This is an incredible opportunity for you to actually learn something. Please, I urge you to be open-minded. I urge you. I know you think I am too anti-liberal here. I'm too anti-Democrat. There is resentment in your heart right now for the Democratic Party because of their ineptitude, because of their feckless cowardice. Okay? So make no mistake. The reason why I show you these things, as far as like Hakeem Jeffries' statement, as far as Kamala Harris's lack of statements, as far as Brett McGurk and how much he has dick rode. Brett McGurk was the key figure in the Biden administration, mind you, and how much Brett McGurk has championed Donald Trump's Iran policy thus far. The reason why I show you this is because American foreign policy is uniparty right now. And we can only change that. We can only create this democratic counterbalance if people like yourself that are Democratic Party dick riders for free actually realize that the Democrats are currently on board with everything that the Republicans are doing. Every single thing. Until they show us that they're not, there is no reason for you to believe that they are actually secretly peaceful participants here. As you've shown on stream, almost every one of Harris's campaign and policy people have supported the attacks on Iran. It's not proof. If that's not proof, nothing would be different on this issue. I don't know what is. Exactly. People that worked in the previous administration that participated in the Gaza genocide saying that they're on board with what Trump is doing with Iran. And also Kamala Harris's own staffers, like Kamala Harris's potential NSC head came out and immediately said, actually, we would be more willing to bomb Iran before fucking Donald Trump. We would defend Israel way harder than Donald Trump. What more can we do? What more can we say? What more can I show you? Do you need a statement from Kamala Harris that literally says, if I was president right now, I would be nuking Tehran? Is that what would cause you to recognize that? Or rather, would you turn around and fucking say, actually, girl boss bitch, we should be nuking Tehran? Because I don't know at this point. If you're this oblivious to the Democratic Party's lack of interest in being a peaceful dove party, a real anti-war party, when it is literally advantageous for them politically, even if they don't give a fuck about the carcasses of Iranian children being wiped off the planet by American munitions, they should at least care about winning, right? They should care about maintaining their popularity. They have unprecedented, historic unpopularity right now. They are less popular than the fucking Republican Party. This is a fucking 60% resentment issue. Nobody wants to go to war with Iran. Trump is going to war with Iran. His own base doesn't want him to go to war with Iran. And not a single fucking Democrat in a position of power is speaking out against this. Did Republicans take control of the both houses? You don't know that, Hassan? She's not in power. She doesn't control both houses. Jesus fucking Christ. That is precisely why she could make a fucking statement, you dumb moron. What the fuck is wrong with you? Where is your fucking brain? She's not in power, which is the perfect opportune moment for her to at least stand against Trump from a partisan perspective. And I'm not just talking about Kamala Harris. I'm talking about Hakeem Jeffries. I'm talking about Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer's only position on the Iran stuff was basically to come out a couple weeks prior and go, Taco Trump, he's not going to nuke Tehran. What a pussy. You better not be making a deal without telling us with Iran that causes you not to nuke Iran. How is that a fucking anti-war position? Democrats in power have only said things that are in favor of Donald Trump escalating tensions with Iran and going to a direct military conflict with Iran, as opposed to the overwhelming unpopularity of said position by the public, okay? Kamala Harris hasn't even said anything for optics. She's fucking powerless. She has no power. She could just as easily turn around and be like, just like she fucking acted like she was for Medicare for all when she had no power. She could turn around and just be like, oh yeah, this is really fucked up. Sorry, I should have voted for Jill Stein. Did I ever say that? Don't fucking cope. Don't fucking cope in here. How many times did I say Jill Stein is a non-factor in this equation? She's a grifter. Shut the fuck up. It is because of your dick riding of the Democratic Party that the Democrats feel as though they can get away with their ineptitude. You guys are so fucking stupid. Have some backbone. Care about the policies rather than people who have never shown you that they care about you. Point to one time where I recommended voting for Jill Stein, okay? And I'll end this broadcast. I'll give you my fucking stream key. Ironically enough, I even make the same fucking argument about Jill Stein. Where is Jill Stein? Kamala Harris is basically the Jill Stein of the Democratic Party. Hassan still thinks Democrats and Kamala would be no different. 9,000 upvotes. I'm glad that at least like these guys took the time out from dick riding Asmongold and like neo-Nazi shit on the LSF subreddit to finally fucking be annoying liberals, oblivious and annoying liberals. Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party right now would be no fucking different than the Republicans. It doesn't even matter because the Republicans are not in charge. I mean, the Democrats are not in charge. However, what matters is they're not even using this as an opportunity to create partisan divide. They're not even fomenting partisan divide on a fucking incredibly popular issue. Donald Trump is incredibly unpopular on this front. And the Democrats are on board, with the exception of like Chris Murphy. He's the only person that I've heard from that has said something even remotely close to maybe we shouldn't go to war with Iran. And even then he goes, I think going to war with Iran is a terrible idea, but no one believes this 2 weeks bit. He's used it a million times before to pretend he might be doing something he's not. It just makes America look weak and silly. He's like, oh, please look stronger, sir. If you're going to bomb Iran, you should do it now.